Hello there, welcome to my tying bench once again. In this tutorial I'm going to tie you up a wet fly pattern. It's a real popular wet fly. I'm pretty sure you've probably heard of it. It's the hare's ear wet fly. And the only difference is when I tie you probably may have seen it tied this way. Instead of just tying in the hackle, I just use dubbing to represent the hackle underneath and pick it out. I make a little dubbing loop, and I'll show you when I get tying here how I do it. So I figured I'd tie this guy up for you this time. So we'll get him out of the vise, fresh hook in, and I'll get going here for you. The hook is a Mustad 3399 standard wet fly hook, and I'm doing this guy on a size 12 today. So we'll get that locked down in the vise. And I'm using UTC 70 denier and brown. So like always, the first step, we'll get a thread base going here about hook eye length behind. And we're going to wrap back, touching wraps till we get almost to the barb here. And I'll snip that tag off. And a couple more wraps back. Okay. For the tail, it's simply brown, soft brown hen hackle fibers. So what I'll do is just pull some off the stem here. Okay, but I was guessing 10 to 15 fibers, anywhere between there. And about a hook shank length, so we'll measure that up, bring it back. We'll tie that on top with a pinch loop. I like to do 2, so it's in there nice and snug. Okay, there's our tail. I'm going to stop my thread there, and I'm going to trim that excess to about where I want the body to end. Okay, next is the rib. And the rib is small oval gold tinsel. And I have a piece here probably 3 to 4 inches long here, and I want to catch that in underneath here, so catch that in with a couple wraps. I want to pull that to the same length as that I want for the body. Okay, then we'll wrap back on that a couple wraps, snug that in. Okay, then I'm going to wrap that all forward, wrap it down just like so here. There we go. And I'm going to come back almost to the tail. I'll stick that in the material clip out of my way here. So, okay, now for the body I'm using hare's ear dubbing, but it's hare's ear plus dubbing. It has a little bit of sparkle into it, add into it, to the hare's ear itself, a little bit of antron. So I get some of that out here. First thing, I'll put a little tacky wax on the thread, just like so. Okay, and I'll start to dub a noodle here, and not too overly thick, of course. Starts a little amount at first, and just a touch heavier down towards the end of the noodle. Try to build a little bit of taper. Okay, wrap that and see where that takes me here. And I'm just going to turn that. I find that easier for me to see where my wraps are going sometimes. Okay, and we'll just wrap forward, and I can tell already I'm going to need more, so a little more wax on the thread, and we'll dub some more dubbing on here, just like so, and a tad bit more. Okay, and I think this should do our body for us here. There we go, that's fine. Okay, I'm going to stop the body there. Now we'll wrap that tinsel. I'm going to counter wrap that. And usually you'll get 3 to 4 wraps. Looks like we're going to get 4 on this guy. Then I'll bring that around, make a couple wraps, like so. Couple that way, then we're going to tie that off nice and snug there, and I'll come in and snip off the excess. Okay, there's our tail and our rib. Okay, next I'm going to tie in, I'll show you how you use the dubbing as a hackle. It's more or less a thorax is what I'm doing, but it also represents the hackle as well as instead of a traditional hackle. Now what I'm going to do, spin my thread the opposite way. I want to flatten that thread out. So just take my Whip finish here, slide it up and down on the thread. Okay, and I grab my fine point needle here. Okay, I want to split the thread like so. Okay, I just about had it. It's a little tricky sometimes. You just take your time till you get it split the way you want it. Okay. Just about had it. Alrighty. Okay. Gonna have to smooth it out a little bit more than that. Okay, we'll try that one more time. Should be able to get her this time. There we go. Okay. Now we have our thread split. And I'm going to take a little bit of wax. Well, I did have it there until I lost the grip on it, so just bear with me. There we go. Okay. A little bit of dubbing wax. And I'm going to take some dubbing and put in that little loop there. Just like so. Catch that in there. Okay, then what I'm going to do is spin my bobbin until that starts to intertwine there on the thread and catches it. Just keep spinning away here. Eventually it'll start to tighten up for you. It's getting there slowly. Okay. A few more spins here. Okay, there we go. Now I'm just going to wrap this. And as I wrap it, I'm just going to pull them fibers back. Just like so here. There we go. One more wrap. And that should have it. Okay. And there's our dubbing to represent the hackle. And what I'll do is just pull down on those fibers. I want them underneath the hook. Like so. May look a little messy right now, but it'll get better here in a second. Let's pull them real long fibers out. And there we go. Okay. Still got a few more real long ones there. I can see them if I just get a hold of them. Okay. That's just a different method to use instead of wrapping traditional hackle. You can use traditional hackle as well. Okay, next is the wing. And I have a matched set of duck quill segments here, natural gray. One from the right and the left. Just going to get them off my bench here. I have them lined up and ready to roll here. Okay. Now, for the wing on this guy, I don't like it to be as long as I normally would on traditional way. I like to just bring it just past the bend a little ways instead of halfway on the tail. So we'll go right about there. Looks good. Now I'll come down. Just going to spin my thread here again. Okay, down in between my fingers. And we're going to pull straight down. Come up, pull straight down. I want to have a look at that. Okay, that looks good. It's right on top, so I'm going to make 3 or 4 tighter turns forward. Snug it down good and snug there. Just like so, and there's our wing. Right on top. Looks great. So, now I'll just come in. Really so careful like, and snip the excess off on an angle. And if there's any there, don't want to get any in the eye if you can help it. Okay, that looks fine. Couple of fibers there I want to snip out. Okay. Now what I like to do on all my wet flies for durability on the wing when I'm using duck quills is a little drop of cement on the wing butts there before I build the head on this guy. So let that soak in. Okay. And what I also will do is take my little Velcro brush here, and I like to just pick out some more of those fibers underneath and pull down, just to give it to make it look more like a hackle underneath. There we go. Okay, now I'm just going to build the head on this guy, and he'll be a done deal. So we'll come back and then forward once again. Okay, that looks pretty good right there. Okay. Okie dokie. Spin that thread up a little more there. Okay. Alrighty, we're ready for a whip finish, and he's a done deal. So, come with my whip finisher, and we'll get 4 or 5 turns on this guy here. Come down, snug that up, nice and tightly, and we'll just snip off that excess. And there we go. Okay. And there we have it, another size 12. Here's your wet fly. Definitely a fish catcher, that's for sure. So what I'll do now is take a little bit of UV resin, bone dry. I'm going to use that instead of head spin on this guy. Okay. Alright. Dump my needle here and get a little bit of resin. Okay, just to cover them thread wraps. Then we'll zap them with the light here in a second. Just want to get some on all the way around them here. Okay, that's fine. Okie dokie. So, give them a quick cure here with the light. Just cure them up. Okay. There we have it. Done deal. So, like always, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial this time around. And if you have the materials, I'd give this guy a tie and throw him in your box. That's for sure. And I want to thank you all for watching. And if this is the first time you've seen one of my tying videos and you think you might like to see more, just hit that good old subscribe button. And don't forget the bell icon as well, and that'll inform you each time I put a new video up. And throw in a like too if you wish. So until next time, I want to wish everyone happy tying out there. Stay safe. And so long for now. I'll see you again soon, folks.